Hi, everybody. It's Phil Kerner, the Tool and Die Guy. And some exciting news here from Erie, Pennsylvania today. I hope you had a successful day at work. Today is Friday, August 24th, 2018. And we got the Family Legacy Project to talk about. Now, I started this about a year or so ago, and because I get emails a lot from people who don't know what to do with their father's tools or their husband's tools when somebody passes away. So what they do is I take those tools in, I go through them. You know, we all know the drill, right? We have a lot of drawers that just don't have good stuff in them. We think it's good stuff, but it's not marketable or nobody wants it. So I go through the box or whatever they give me, sometimes drawers and bins or cardboard boxes, and find the good stuff, and we find homes for it from all over the world. The last one we did, I shipped an interrapid indicator to Australia. So it was a lot of fun to do. Well, this week I got a couple emails from a lady here in Erie named Sherry, and her father, and I want to make sure I clear that up, not her husband, her father, because there's another video coming where I mentioned it was her husband. Her father passed away many years ago, 1994. This stuff's been laying around for 24 years. So we went back and forth. Thankfully, she was in Erie, and today I picked it up. So we've got our first Gerstner toolbox to give away, and it's like, if you're like me, you love the trade, and you love going through the history of somebody's toolbox. I'd love to go through your toolbox sometime, and I'm sure you'd love to go through mine. And to go through this, and I treat this stuff as hollowed ground. This was this guy's life, right? So we go through the toolbox. So take a look at this. I think you'll get a kick out of this, and then I'll tell you after we go through the toolbox what's going to happen next. So today we've got another donation to the Family Legacy Project, and this is the first Gerstner box that's come my way. So let's take a look and see what's inside. Now, this box needs cleaned up, and that's the reason we're out in the garage right now. There's no sense in taking it down to the studio and making a mess down there too. So we're not going to really restore it, but it's dirty and it smells because it's been in a basement. But let's take a look at this. The beautiful part about this Gerstner box is, you know, this was bought right after World War II, as we'll find out very shortly here, and everything still works as it should 70 years later. All right, so let's open it up and see what we have inside. So I met with a lady named Sherry Andrews today, and she handed this over to me, and this was her husband, and this is Howard Andrews, and that's Howard was a young man, and we'll make sure that stays with the box. And it says Howard Judson Andrews, 1919 to 1994. He would have been my dad's age. So he served in the United States Army during World War II, reaching the rank of sergeant, worked at the Erie Meter Systems prior to enlisting, and on his return from the war, continued his job there for a period of time until accepting a position at Copes Vulcan. And that's a big plant on the west side of Erie in Fairview, Pennsylvania. He worked as a machinist and foreman there until his retirement. So as usual, when I get a box like this, it's a matter of just going through it and seeing what's of value and what just needs to go in the scrap bin, okay? Well, a couple things are very interesting here. For whatever reason, 3 brand new sets of mics here, okay? Right there, those look like 1 to 2s, I believe. Yeah, those would be 1 to 2s, and then good stuff here, guys. 2 to 3 Starretts, again, still in the bag. Amazing, these things have been packed up like this. And then, of course, another set, Auto 1. So we've got Auto 1s, 1 to 2s, and 2 to 3-inch mics still in the original bags. Then let's look at an old set of 1 to 2s. I'll have to take a look at them and see if they're in working order. And this is the case. Usually when I get a box like this, it's fun to go through somebody's toolbox. I hope you're enjoying this. This is a set of Craftsman Auto 1s. A little squeaky. They seem to be free though. So I'll take those to work and get those checked out and calibrated, make sure they're still okay. And then let's see here. Got a little drill chuck here. What kind is it? It is a, let's see here. Hartford, Connecticut. It's a Jacobs. It's a little Jacobs chuck, missing the arbor for it. But I'm sure that can be replaced quite easily. Shoestrings. That's kind of cool. Isn't that That's, I don't know why that's cool, but this is the guy's spare shoestrings. I love that stuff. Very cool. This is a set of balls to clip onto your mic so you could measure tubes and things like that. Sometimes you need to have a ball on one of your anvils, so that's pretty cool. This little can here is some carbide bits and tool bits. Interesting. Then a couple of, probably every tool maker ends up with some pins, right? Just they use to punch out dowel pins and things like this. A set of telescoping gauges. These are Starrett. I'll have to look and see if I've got a full set there. It's almost a full set. It looks like it looks like we might be missing one. You know, junk like this. Have no idea. That'll go. We'll get rid of that. Old C-clamp. Electrical tape. There's the real deal, right? All right. So let's see. Oh, and a set of and still in the box. These are new, I think, too. These are Starrett feeler gauges. Nice deal there. Let's see here. Drawer 1. Some little screwdrivers. Over here. Some polishing stones. They're all stones. They're an old, what do they call this? A drift or tapers. This box is very musty. It needs cleaned up desperately. Just some more reamers and things like that. Not a lot of value there. This drawer is really heavy. It's full of a lot of dies and taps and bolts, and I'll have to kind of go through this and see what we've got here. 3/4 homemade gauge block, it looks like. Just fun stuff that, you know, not a lot I can do with that stuff. It's not worth shipping it, but every tool maker ends up, this box is so heavy this drawer is so heavy I can barely close it. There we go. Did I read this drawer? More carbide, just carbide inserts, right? I knew exactly what these were when I saw them because I used these when I was an apprentice at Anson Tools. Madison True-Bore reamers. These are floating reamers. You set the height and then it floats on this thing here, so when you ream a hole on this V, it floats. But you precisely set your diameter with this screw in the middle, and then you tighten it when you get what you want. And this one's actually got, I think one of these, yeah, 1-inch 125. So again, junky junk stuff. No offense to me out there, but box of scales, a drawer full of scales, fingernail clippers. You know, these might be able to be cleaned up a little bit, but thread gauges. That's a set of Starrett radius gauges. I didn't even know how Starrett made them like that. And an old protractor, Brown & Sharpe scale. And then the final drawer, again, this tube is holding me up here. Let's get rid of that. Final drawer, so that gives you away the age of this guy. My dad had the same stuff in his box. These giant dividers and trammels and things like that. Very cool. This is Brown & Sharpe. Those are cool. Those are old period pieces. You don't see those being used too much anymore for anything. But I've got the same collection from my father. So this stuff was big back in the day. Got the dental mirror here. Let's see. Thread file. So interesting. So what I'll do now is empty this whole box out. What I wanted you guys to see though, first is how I get it. This is the condition it comes into me. And first thing we're going to do here is empty it out. Get a box, put the stuff that's, you know, got to just get thrown out, old drills and reamers and stuff like that. It's not worth selling them. It's not worth, you know, if I knew somebody with a shop, I'd give them to them, but they won't even take them at my shop because they're not in the system. We like to use things that are repeatable, serial number wise. So that's it. So we're going to clean this up, get the smell out of it. I'll empty it, and then I'll start slowly polishing this box up, get the grease marks off it and stuff like that. But some lucky guy or gal is going to get this box as a gift from Mr. Howard Andrews. So Howard, as you're looking down on your toolbox, after it sat in your basement for 25 years almost after you died, 94, yeah, 24 years, this box is finally going to find a good home out there somewhere in the world. We'll get this somewhere. Whoever gets this box is paying for shipping, right? We're not doing that. But other than that, it's a beautiful Gerstner box. And we'll get these drawers opening and closing just as they should. and that's the Family Legacy Project. I'm Phil Kerner, the Tool and Die Guy, and I hope you enjoyed this little treasure hunt with me, and more to come very soon. So first thing is empty it out, vacuum it out. We'll polish it up. I'm not going to restore it. It's in pretty good shape. All the drawers work. They clean up nicely. This one right behind me was in my brother's basement for 35 years, and it didn't look too good when I got it, and just a little furniture polish and cleaning it came out beautiful. So same thing will be true with this box. So more to come on this. Stay tuned. If you'd like to know a little bit more about the Family Legacy Project, just visit the link under this video, thetoolanddieguy.com/Family Legacy Project. And this should be fun. Never given away a Gerster. Can't wait to do it.